Hey everyone, welcome to the Burbs Nest. My name's BC Richfield. This is where we teach you how to trade, and today we are going to look at support and resistance levels. So, what I like to do is I like to start with a monthly chart, and what I'm looking for is what has capped the market to the upside and to the downside, and by that I mean what has stopped price progressing, okay, and what has stopped price declining. So first thing I'm going to do is take my horizontal ray, okay? And then I'm going to look here for confluence as to where we've met a high, price hasn't managed to close beyond it, okay? So this for me here is a key high. So we're going to mark that and we're going to use our magnet tool, which is here on the left, all right? So you can press your command button to turn that on and off, or you can select it on the side, all right, which will leave it on, but it will help you snap the line to the extremities, all right? So you see when I have it on, it goes to the top of the wick or the body. So for this one, I'm going to snap it to the wick. And as we can see here, price has come up into this region, okay? And although price has gone beyond it, it hasn't closed beyond it, all right? So for me, that's my first key point of interest. Then I'm going to take my horizontal ray again, and I'm going to look for what's capped the market to the downside, okay? So what we can see here is we've got 1, 2, 3 key wicks, okay? And from here, we can see the bodies of these candles. Price hasn't progressed beyond this. So we're looking for a point of confluence to the left that lines up with what our theory is, okay? So as we go to the left, what we can say is price has stopped here, here, and here, but also here and here. So the thing that catches my attention here is this level, all right? Because this stopped price going up. Price has come all the way up here and closed below, and then it's used it as support to then push on to the upside. So using our magnet tool, if we mark that level there, what we can see is we have our low and we have our high, okay? The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a midline. Now, we have two ways of doing this. We want to see if there's anything that stands out as confluence for our midline. We can see we've got upside wicks here, 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 and here. Also here and here. But we can also see that the bodies have stopped at this same level. But what I like to do on any level is take my Fibonacci tool. I'm going to take the high down to the low. I'm going to get my horizontal ray tool again. I'm going to place this in the middle. Yeah, at the 0.5 level, which we can see is here. This is the 0.5 level on the Fibonacci. And we're going to mark this as it is. Okay, and then we can delete the Fibonacci. So what we can see is this has great confluence from where we are. So price hasn't managed to progress beyond this. When it has, it's come back here and treated it as support. Once it's broken beneath, it's been resistance once and twice, broken above, come back below, deviation as it's got above, but then when it's closed below, resistance, resistance, resistance. All right. So there are three key levels that we're interested in. I'm then going to drop this down onto the weekly scale. Okay, and every level that we drop down gives us a little bit more information because it gives us more candles. So if we look at this here, what we can see is this has capped the market. Price hasn't closed above it. As we've got to here, this here represents a deviation above the range high, which we can see is then closed below, sold off to the midline, lost the midline, and sold off to range low. Okay, so using the same techniques, I'm going to take my Fibonacci. I'm going to take it from the high of the range down to the low, or the upper resistance line to the support line. I'm then going to take my horizontal ray on the 0.5 line, which is here. For me personally, I then take that down by 1 grade to the 1px, all right? And then the next thing I want to do is click back on this, and I want to move it so that it's a dashed line, okay? And that represents our midline, okay? So then we're going to do exactly the same for the range below. We're going to take it from the high down to the low. We're going to take our horizontal ray. We're going to put it on the 0.5 level as we can see here. And then we can delete the Fibonacci. And on a weekly scale, this is where we have our ranges. We've got our upper range and our lower range. Key support level, resistance, 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 resistance based on where price currently is, okay? So then we drop down to the daily, and this gives us a lot more information. And what we can see as we do this, we can see the key interactions that price has had. So price has claimed this level here, okay, gone up to the midline, retested this as support, back to the midline again, deviated below, closed above, and it's sold up to the range high, okay? Same here, up to the midline, down to the low, deviated below, up to the midline, up to the range high, okay? But what we can clearly see here is the amount of interactions that we've had with not only the range low and the range high, or our key support and resistance levels, we can see how much interaction we've had with the mid levels as well. So once we take it to a daily scale, that's how I like to mark out support and resistance. And if we compress the chart a little bit and look at it here, that's where we currently stand. So if you've got any questions or there's anything that you'd like to know, especially in terms of breaking this down onto lower time frames, then come onto the Nest, hit me up in the chat, tag me in there, it's BC Richfield, and we can have a chat through it, and I'll show you how we then break this down onto lower time frames, okay? And then how we set our levels there and look for confluence in terms of how we trigger our trades. Thanks very much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a link below in the description, and I'll see you all around